Good morning, it's August 22nd. This is to my liberal friends. Well, political parties are always seeking to find that sweet spot where they can appeal to the majority of voters. When they've accomplished that goal, the results normally mean they're winning elections. Public opinions and how voters feel about issues is always moving a target, and that's the difficulty that political parties face when they try to attract voters. At this point in time, it's the Democratic Party that's struggling to find some solid ground to appeal to those voters. After the elections last November, they felt crushed, and many in the party leadership refused to acknowledge the reasons they lost. They held on to their ideas and policies and felt it was just a messaging problem. They blamed the loss by Kamala Harris to Donald Trump on sexism, racism, and just plain stupidity of the voters. They felt if Biden had withdrawn earlier and Harris had more time to campaign, she would have been victorious. But the data coming out today shows might be a larger problem facing Democrats. It's a problem for them because of the fight going on within the party over which direction they should head. Normally when you lose an election, the party tries to move back towards the center where the majority of voters reside. But there's a strong faction within the Democratic Party that wants them to move further to the left, to fully embrace their policies and the ideas of the progressive wing of the party. That fight does not bode well for the party. A devastating New York Times report Wednesday showed that of the 30 states that maintain voter registration records by political party, Democrats fell behind Republicans in all of them between 2020 and 24 elections. In total, Republicans added 4.5 million voters compared to Democrats, creating a huge hole that could set Democrats back for years. A recent poll shows that Democrats view their party as weak. An Associated Press poll for Public Affairs in July revealed that about 1 in 5 Democrats described their party in a positive light. That means 80% saw it negatively. And a poll by the Democratic Super PAC Unites the Country, obtained by The Hill magazine last month, shows that voters perceive the Democratic Party as, quote, out of touch, woke, and weak. The poll shows some devastating news to Democrats. The poll conducted between May and June by Unite the Country, a Democratic Super PAC, showed voters perceived them the same way. This party has seen its support erode with white men, Hispanic men, and working class voters across the board, with approval ratings sitting below 35% across these demographics. And enthusiasm within the party continues to wane in the wake of 2024, the poll revealed. But most contentious battleground states have also experienced a liberal erosion. Arizona, Nevada, North Carolina, Pennsylvania all saw support peel away from Democrats over the last 4 years. In North Carolina, Republicans erased roughly 95% of the registration advantage the Democrats held in the fall of 2020. And that's according to state records as of this summer. In Nevada, Democrats suffered the steepest percentage point plunge of any state but West Virginia. The struggle to connect with voters has been a running theme for months, with even Democrats acknowledging they have to put forward a compelling message. A Wall Street Journal poll out late last month showed Democratic popularity had hit the lowest point in 35 years, as 63% of voters had an unfavorable view of the party, and at the same time, 33% of them surveyed had a favorable view. Now, I've spent my entire life in politics. I've seen both Republicans win and Democrats win. But right now, what I see are the Democrats getting on the wrong side of issues that matter to voters. They've been wrong on the border, no matter how many times Biden and his administration said the border was secure. People could see with their own eyes. Trump has secured the border. They were wrong on the DEI issues. They got caught up in that and failed to see it was not resonating with the voters. Allowing boys to play against girls in sports was a losing proposition, but so many Democratic politicians took a hard stance advocating for this practice. They pushed for EVs and other green energy sources at the expense of regular fuel sources, and the average citizen out here was not ready to buy in on that push. Democrats are losing voters in several of the key voting blocs. Republicans are making strides with black voters and Hispanic voters. Young men are turning more conservative and moving in the direction of the Republican Party. Suburban women have moved slightly in the direction of Republicans. The main strength of the Democratic Party now seems to be liberal, college-educated white voters, and most of them are living in cities. But that's not going to be enough to carry them to victory in the future. This has been To My Liberal Friends. Thanks for listening.